the river where the cold had stayed, a tender wind begins to move, a single magnolia in morning light softly opens without a word. Across the fading hills afar, green shadows slowly breathe again, and all the silent hours in me wake gently like the dawn. Spring never hurries when it comes, it leans upon the quiet earth, leaving small waves upon the heart. No voice, no sound, just light. At the edge of the river, spring arrives, crossing the long and distant night. Through drifting petals in the air, forgotten days begin to bloom. The wind is warm upon my face, the world turns slowly into green, and now I think I understand. The latest flower of the heart carries the longest fragrance. Beyond the fields of swaying grain, old laughter lingers in the breeze. Along the river, touched by dusk, unspoken words still softly flow. To miss someone for many years feels quiet as the moving stream, and when I close my weary eyes, your name returns again. Though time may carry all the way, the flowers bloom again each year, and deep within the human heart, the seasons still remain. At the edge of the river, spring arrives, beyond the waiting and the snow. The days I held so silently now shine upon the water. The sky tonight is calm and clear. Even the wind stays here a while, and now I think I understand. A softly blooming human heart can make a life feel beautiful. Morning settles on the branches before the world can speak. White magnolias near the hill open slowly in the rain. Nothing in this quiet spring seems eager to be seen. A distant bell beyond the trees falls gently through the air, and somewhere in the moving light your footsteps still remain. Some memories never fade, they soften like old cloth, worn close against the heart through changing seasons. Magnolia still in bloom, even after winter leaves, holding silence in your hands like a prayer no one can hear. And the wind moves tenderly through the small and silver leaves, as if the earth already knows what the heart cannot yet say. Afternoon along the road, dust of sunlight on the stones, children's laughter far away fades into the trees. I stand beneath the quiet sky, listening without a word to all the days we could not keep, still breathing in the breeze. Nothing truly disappears, not the rain nor passing years. What once trembled in the soul returns when spring is near. Magnolia softly bright, resting underneath the clouds. Every petal seems to hold a season of farewell. Still the river slowly runs, still the evening light remains, and somewhere deep within the heart a gentle flower survives. A little wind moves through the window, like someone remembering spring. Flower shadows on the table, coffee growing slowly cold. Outside the afternoon drifts through quiet streets of green. Someone laughs beyond the door, then the sound is gone again. Only sunlight stays behind, resting on the empty chair. Nothing beautiful ever hurries, not the wind, not the season, the heart. Inside the cloud of flowers, the day moves soft and slow. Petals carried by the breeze brush lightly through the soul. And somewhere in the quiet a forgotten warmth returns, like a song once left unfinished, blooming softly once again. Pages turning near the window, placed gently down, the scent of rain upon the road. Before the evening comes, far away a train is passing, low and faded in the air. Even silence seems alive in the middle of this spring. We do not notice how happiness arrives until it sits beside us without a word. Inside a cloud of flowers, the world becomes so still. Every small and tender thing feels brighter than before. And while the light grows thinner along the quiet wall, the heart remains like springtime, open, warm, and calm. The fields grow quieter as the afternoon leans toward evening. Green waves across the barley move slowly with the wind. Nothing has to be remembered, still everything remains. A bicycle beyond the road, a dog asleep beneath the tree. Small sounds of ordinary days gather in the fading light. Somewhere far beyond the hills, smoke rises into evening skies, and for a moment the whole world feels like home. Fields before evening, soft beneath the golden sky. The wind moves low among the grain like hands across old memories. And all the distant days I loved return without a sound, quiet as the setting sun, resting on the earth. Cup of tea beside the window, pages turning slow and light. Shadows growing longer now across the wooden floor. Far away a train is calling somewhere past the river bend. Even time seems tired tonight, walking gently into dusk. Perhaps the heart remembers what the mind lets go. The scent of grass after rain, a voice once heard at sunset. Fields before evening, holding all the light that's left. Every quiet living thing breathe softly with the wind. And while the sky grows deep and blue, one feeling still remains, that peace is not far away. It was here all along. eyes open and the south wind enters slowly. Curtains move in gentle waves, light rests upon the floor. Somewhere nearby, a radio plays an old familiar song. The scent of grass after the rain drifts softly through the room, and for a while, nothing feels hurried anymore. Far beyond the narrow streets, trees lean into evening light, and every passing breeze carries someone's memory. When the south wind comes, the heart grows quiet too. Old days return like shadows, soft against the wall. And in the slowly darkening air, one feeling still remains, that love was never loud at all, only warm and close. A small cafe beside the road, coffee cooling near the hands, people speaking gently low as daylight fades away. Someone closes a worn old book, a chair moves across the floor. Even silence feels alive in this tender hour of spring. We spend so much of life looking for distant things, while happiness waits quietly beside an open window. When the south wind comes, even sorrow softens slow, like evening light upon the trees before the night appears. And while the last train passes by beyond the darkened hill, the world remains so calm and near, breathing softly with the wind. I arrive slowly, like pages turning in an old book. The light left on the table warms the corner of the room. Coffee gone cold beside a chair, no one has moved for hours. Outside the window, rain settles over empty streets, and somewhere in the quiet dark, a memory breathes again. Some feelings never disappear, they rest beneath the days, waiting softly for the evening to return. The light left on the table still glows after you are gone, like words we never finished, lingering in the air. And through the slow and silver rain, the night becomes seems so still. Even loneliness grows gentle when held inside the dark. A train passes far away, its sound fading through the hills. The clock moves softly on the wall, like careful human breath. I close the worn and fragile book, resting near the window frame. And for a moment, time feels warm again. Perhaps we do not lose the ones who once stayed near the heart. They remain like evening light, long after sunset fades. The light left on the table, quiet through the deepening night. Every shadow in the room breathes softly with the rain. While the city falls asleep, one feeling still remains, that love becomes more tender in silence than in words. Before the birds awaken, the mountains breathe in silence. Wildflowers beside the trail hold the last drops of the night. Nothing moves except the wind passing through the trees. Far below the sleeping town, one distant light remains, quiet as a waiting heart before the morning comes. The earth remembers every season, even after flowers fall. Some beauty stays unseen until the world grows still. Wildflowers before dawn bloom where no one calls their name. Soft against the fading dark, they open all the same. And somewhere in the silent hills, a lonely bird begins, like a memory returning slow with the first pale light. Mist drifts slow across the path, cold upon the hands. Pine trees breathing into dawn stand without a word. I walk slowly through the quiet, listening to the earth. And for a little while the heart becomes clear again. Not every sorrow asks for tears, some become the morning fog, resting lightly on the hills before disappearing. Wildflowers before dawn, holding silence in the wind. Every fragile living thing endures the passing continues quietly to bloom.
Before the morning light, along the quiet mountain road, tall grass bends beneath the dawn. No footsteps now remain, only the sound of wind. A weather bench beneath the pine faces fields of fading mist. And somewhere deep within the earth, old stories softly sleep. Some voices disappear without ever saying goodbye. Still the mountains keep them inside the morning air, where the wind remains. Silence learns to breathe again. Through the pale and drifting light, the heart walks quietly. And every passing cloud above moves slowly toward the hills, like memories too gentle to ever leave completely. A single bird across the sky breaks the stillness for a while. Then all becomes as quiet as water before rain. I listen to the distant trees swaying in the early cold, and feel the weight of vanished days growing soft with time. Perhaps nothing truly fades, not the sorrow, not the love, only the sound becomes quieter. Where the wind remains, morning opens without words. Every lonely living thing finds its place beneath the sky. And while the earth grows bright again under the waking sun, one gentle breath inside the soul continues silently to stay. Falls quietly across the room. A cup still warm beside the books, curtains moving with the breeze. The
city slowly wakes below without a single rush. Sunlight resting on the floor like water calm and clear. And somewhere in the quiet air, the heart begins again. There are mornings that ask for nothing, only silence and a little light. My heart like water, still beneath the gentle sky, holding clouds and passing birds without trying to keep them. And every small and ordinary thing shines softly in this hour, as if the world has learned at last how to breathe in peace. Footsteps passing down the street, a bicycle bell far away, the scent of bread and morning rain drifting through the air. I open up the narrow window to the pale and growing blue, and feel the quiet weight of life growing lighter with the day. Perhaps happiness is only this, a calm room, a little music, and enough time to listen. My heart like water, bright beneath the waking light. Every memory and every loss settles softly to the ground. And while the morning slowly blooms beyond the open sky, one gentle warmth inside the soul remains without a word. Evening gathers slowly along the road back home. Smoke rises beyond the fields under fading autumn light. Windows glow one by one along the quiet town. Somewhere near the river road, a bicycle passes by, and the sound disappears into the growing dusk. After all the distant seasons, the heart remembers where to rest, not in crowded places, but near familiar light. The road home at dusk turns softly through the evening fields, every step becoming slower as the sky grows deep and blue. And all the days I carried far away return without a sound, like warm light through an open door, waiting in the dark. sings inside the room, coffee breathing in the air, old books resting near the lamp, pages touched by time. Outside, the final train moves on beyond the sleeping hills, but here the night grows calm and warm, like a hand upon the heart. Perhaps home is not a place, but the feeling that remains when the world becomes quiet enough for the soul to breathe again. The road home at dusk still shines beneath the evening stars. Every passing sorrow now feels smaller than before, and while the distant wind grows still beyond the darkened trees, one gentle song inside the heart continues softly through the night. The light remains long after the song is gone.